Throughout history, few are given the power to control the destiny of their fellow man. Tribal chieftains and powerful shaman. Admirals and captains. Generals and statesmen. Warriors and tyrants. Empire Earth.
Late in the 3rd millennium BC, Canaanites from the area near Galilee traveled to the Mediterranean coast looking for new land. There they began a settlement which would become the great Phoenician trading city of Tyre. In this scenario, you play the Phoenicians, who are about to found their new civilization. When the game begins, you will have control over 3 citizens, the first citizens of the Phoenician civilization. You must lead these early Phoenicians west to the sea and learn the basic skills of survival. These skills include basic movement, constructing a capital, and gathering natural resources, which your civilization will need to grow. The fate of the Phoenicians is in your hands.
Welcome to the ancient world. You are about to found the civilization of Phoenicia. As it has been throughout history, your civilization will be built by its citizens. Citizens construct all the buildings and gather all the natural resources that are necessary for a civilization's survival and growth. In time, you will learn to have them hunt, forage, and harvest all the food your new nation requires. Your civilization story begins on the shores of the Sea of Galilee. 3 citizens, standing among the local Canaanites, await your instructions. Select all 3 by left-clicking on the ground near them, and while holding in the mouse button, dragging a box around them. Then release the button. This is called lassoing units. Good work! To move your citizens, or any selected units, you simply right-click on the map where you want them to go. Due west of your citizens is a hill with a flag on it. This is where your citizens will start to build their civilization. To find the hill, move your mouse pointer to the left edge of the screen. The map will scroll in that direction. Scroll the map over to the hill. You can also use the minimap at the bottom right of the screen to help you find the hill. The minimap is a representation of the entire map. It is mostly black because you haven't explored much of the map yet. But the hill is visible as a greenish spot near the center of the minimap. Once you have found the hill, order your citizens to walk to it. Make sure your citizens are still selected, and then right-click next to the flag on the hill. As your citizens move towards the hill, the black areas of the map along their path are revealed. You can watch their progress on both the main map and the minimap. Notice that the buildings of the Canaanite village you just left are still visible, but the people are not. The people are shrouded by the fog of war. This simply means you cannot see what they are doing when no one from your civilization is there to look at them. Good, you've reached the hill. On this hill, you will construct a Capitol building for your new city. Select one of your citizens by left-clicking on him or her. To build a Capitol, click on the Capitol button near the bottom of the screen. A ghost Capitol appears to help you choose a location for the building. If the ghost is tinted green, it means you can build the Capitol there. If it is red, it means the Capitol cannot be built on that spot. Try moving the ghost building around a little until it appears green. When you choose a location for the Capitol, left-click to place the foundation for it. Your citizen then walks to the foundation and begins constructing the Capitol. Constructing a building goes faster with more workers on the job. Select your other two citizens by dragging a lasso around them. Then, right-click on the construction site. Notice that the mouse pointer becomes a hammer over the site to indicate that your citizens can perform an action there. Your Capitol is finished. Well done. Notice that your citizens have automatically started collecting wood. This is because the trees were the closest resource to your Capitol. You can tell your citizens where to collect resources. Select a citizen and right-click on a different tree. Note that the pointer changed to a bucket over the resource site. When your citizens have gathered a full load, they automatically bring it to your Capitol. They then return to the resource site to gather some more. You can always intervene and give your citizens new instructions. Select one of your working citizens and right-click on the Capitol. The citizen immediately goes to the Capitol and drops off whatever he or she was carrying. Gathering resources is essential to the survival of your civilization. Eventually, you will gather gold, stone, and other resources in exactly the same way. Your current resource inventories are shown in the bar that runs along near the bottom of the screen. Your civilization has made a good start, but your population must grow larger, and that requires food. To the south of your Capitol, you will find a forage patch. A new spot has appeared on your minimap to show you where to search for the food site. Send your citizens there to gather food from the forage patch. It is a long walk back to the Capitol from the foraging site. To increase your gathering efficiency, have your citizens build a settlement next to the forage patch. Settlements are simple resource drop-off points that are constructed in exactly the same way as the Capitol. Just select a citizen, click the settlement button, and place the building. The wood required to build the settlement is taken from your resource inventories. Foraging for food is the most basic way to feed your people. Up to 6 citizens can gather from a single foraging site at once. In time, you will also learn to hunt, fish, and farm to get food. Now it is time to produce new citizens for your civilization. When you have enough food, the citizen button will become active at your Capitol. Simply select the Capitol and then click the citizen button to create a citizen. If you have enough food, after a moment, a new citizen appears at the Capitol and you can put him or her to work. To have newly created citizens automatically start working, you can set a rally point. Select the Capitol and click the round Place Rally Point button. Then click on the forage patch to place the rally point there. Now new citizens will immediately walk to the patch and gather food. To grow your civilization, it is important to keep your citizens busy. The Idle Citizens button below the minimap can help you locate citizens who are not working so you can give them a task. It looks like everything is going well. To help ensure the Phoenician civilization survives, create a total of 6 citizens. You have done very well. The Phoenician people grow and prosper under your leadership. With their roots firmly planted, the Phoenicians are on their way to spreading their influence throughout the Mediterranean.
Your Phoenician people have moved onto the island just west of their first city. In their new home, called New Tyre, they are struggling to advance beyond their primitive beginnings. In this scenario, you will lead the Phoenicians into a new epoch, the Stone Age. In the Stone Age, you can research new technology for your civilization. You will also fight off some wild animals and learn about civilization points and the civilization builder.
A new Phoenician colony has been established. Just off the coast, west of the first Phoenician settlement of Old Tyre, is the island of Melkart. Upon this island, intrepid Phoenicians have established a city that will become known as New Tyre. To help New Tyre prosper, you must lead your people into the Stone Age. Progressing to a more advanced epoch requires an expenditure of resources. A forage patch lies near your town center on the island. Have your citizens gather food from it. Creating new citizens at your town center and putting them to work will help your civilization grow faster. Each new citizen will cost a small amount of food, but the investment now will more than pay off later. Don't forget that new citizens can be instructed to go to a rally point as soon as they emerge from a town center or capital. A quick way to assign a rally point for them is to select your town center and then simply right-click on a resource site to send new citizens to gather from that site. You need more food to advance to the Stone Age. Other foraging sites can be found northeast of your town center. Select several citizens and have them construct a settlement near to the sites. Then have them gather food. Be careful, as you never know where dangerous animals might be lurking. Remember, only 6 citizens at a time can work any one mine. The more mineral deposits you discover and mine, the faster your resource inventories will accumulate. Remember, when your citizens are working at a great distance from your town center, build a settlement near to the resource site to speed up gathering. Don't forget to continue to gather wood by chopping down trees. You'll need wood to build additional settlements. The area around the new forage patches is crawling with man-eating tigers. You will have to kill the tigers so you can forage for food unmolested. To attack a tiger, select several citizens and then right-click on a tiger. It's best to attack dangerous animals like tigers with a group of citizens. Well done. You have eliminated a serious threat to your people, and you have been awarded civilization points. In scenarios, you are occasionally awarded with civilization points for accomplishing an objective. Left-click on the flashing crown. You will see what bonuses you can purchase for your civilization with your civ points. Don't worry, the scenario pauses while you are on this screen. At first glance, the array of options may seem confusing, but you'll get used to it the more you play. For now, scroll down to Citizens and spend your points on any bonuses you can afford. work! You now have enough food to research the advancement to the Stone Age. To do this, select your town center, then click on the Stone Age button. While a new epic is being researched, no units can be created at this town center, and no other research can be performed there. However, you can queue up additional units or research by clicking on the appropriate buttons. This production will commence as soon as the town center has completed researching the Stone Age. You can watch the progress being made on the research by selecting the town center and looking at the status bar displayed over the town center's portrait. Congratulations! Your people have reached the Stone Age. Continue gathering resources for your civilization. In the Stone Age, you'll have access to the first of many technologies. Select your town center and you'll see a research button for hafted tools. This technology, once researched, will allow your citizens to mine stone with increased efficiency. Technologies cost you resources, but let your civilization do something new or improve on something it could before. All technologies are optional, but it's a good idea to research those technologies you believe will further the plans you have for your civilization. A new pack of tigers is threatening your village. Kill them before they eat your people.
Talas? Talas?
Kalos.
We're under attack!
Excellent work. Your people are thriving. Take pride in the start you have given to this new city.
The Phoenicians have exhausted the precious metals around New Tyre, so colonists have been sent out to secure new sources of ore. You are in charge of one of the newfound colonies, called Gades, on the remote Atlantic coast of Iberia. Your goal is to turn the small outpost into a major mining operation. To do so, you will have to learn how to hunt, fish, and farm to feed your people. Once you have stockpiled enough gold, commercial vessels from Tyre will arrive to take it back home.
The power of the Phoenicians continues to grow. By now, your people have established many distant colonies, including Gades in ancient Spain. But the colonists in Gades are struggling to survive. Gathering wild vegetables is no longer enough to sustain them. The time has come to hunt wild game. A flock of ostriches can be found east of your town center. Send your citizens to hunt them. To hunt, select your citizens and right-click on an animal. Once killed, your citizens will harvest the meat and drop it off at your town center. Don't forget to create more citizens at your town center and have them gather lumber as well as food. You'll need the wood to construct buildings. Don't forget to build settlements near resource sites when you find them. The prosperity of your distant mining colony will only be assured when you have a total population of 20 citizens. This goal will require more food than simple hunting will provide. You must teach your people to fish. Search along the coast until you sight fish out in the open water. Some likely areas have been marked with flags. In addition to sending citizens to specific destinations, you can have them explore the map themselves. To do this, select a citizen and then click on the round Explore button with the telescope and compass on it. Citizens on exploration duty search the map until you give them a new task to do.
Talas. Stoma.
When you have found fishing sites, you will need to build a dock. Docks are used to produce fishing boats and other vessels.
Kalos.
Have your citizens construct a dock on the shoreline near the flags that mark the fishing sites.
Stoma.
Your dock is complete. Now you need to make a fishing raft, which requires wood.
Kalos.
When you have enough wood, the fishing raft button becomes active at the dock. Click the button to make a raft. You can queue up more than one if you have enough wood.
Pote, Kalos. Pote, Stoma.
Sunte. Stoma. Sunte. Kalos.
Your first fishing raft has been launched. To have it fish, select it and then right-click on a school of fish. It will gather fish in the same way that citizens gather food, except it deposits its catch at the dock.
Pote. Kalos. Stoma.
Imoig Talas. Duote. Esto.
Your colony is thriving, but more food wouldn't hurt. It is time to plant farms. To do this, you must first build a granary. Select a citizen and then click the granary button.
Sunte.
The granary itself must be placed on flat ground, but the farms around it can be planted on hills. Notice the green outlines that appear around the ghost of the granary when you go to place the foundation of the building. These represent where farms can be planted. By choosing a site carefully, you can get as many as 8 farms around a single granary.
Kalos.
Once the granary is built, the citizen who built it automatically plants a farm. Each farm requires a one-time cost in wood.
Talas. Kalos.
Pote. Talas. Pote.
Talas. Stoma. Kalos. Imoig. Talas. Talas. Kalos.
Additional farmers can be sent from the town center.
Talas.
Queue up citizens in your town center, then, with the town center still selected, right-click on the farm. When the new citizens are created, they will automatically build a farm and start farming. Remember that each farm costs a little wood and requires only one farmer to work it. You are feeding your people well now. It is time to locate the gold mines you came to Iberia for. The mountains northeast of your town center are a good place to look.
The Phoenicians have exhausted the precious metals around New Tyre, so colonists have been sent out to secure new sources of ore. You are in charge of one of the newfound colonies, called Gades, on the remote Atlantic coast of Iberia. Your goal is to turn
Sunte. Kalos. Stoma.
Pote. Stoma.
This area is rich in gold. Build a settlement near the gold deposits. To have citizens mine the gold, select them and then right-click on a deposit. Up to 6 citizens can mine one gold deposit.
Kalos.
Pote.
Stoma. Kalos. Stoma.
Stoma.
Talas. Kalos. Stoma. Kalos. Imoig. Talas. Esto. Talas. Sunte. Talas.
Pote. Stoma.
You are doing an excellent job. Ships will soon arrive from Tyre to collect the gold ore you are mining. The ships from Tyre have arrived. When you have 250 units of gold, they will load the precious cargo on board. Tyre is proud of the work you've done. The gold has been safely transferred to the Tyrian vessels. Now make certain you have 20 citizens, a granary, and a dock. You have successfully built one of Phoenicia's most important colonies. The flow of precious metal from Spain to the Middle East, however, will soon attract pirates and rival traders. New colonies will have to be created to protect Tyre's wealth. It is in this way that an empire slowly takes shape.
Phoenician trade has spread throughout the Mediterranean, but Greek raiders are threatening merchants bound for the distant colony of Gades in Spain. You have been given the important task of establishing a safe haven for Phoenician traders in North Africa. Colonists have been provided, and you must build up the basic infrastructure of a city that is to be called Carthage. By following your advisor's instructions, you will learn to develop settlements into town centers and then into capitals.
You and your Phoenician colonists have been dropped off in North Africa. A city that shall be known as Carthage is to be built here. Your advisors have chosen the perfect spot for a capital building and marked it with a flag. Build the capital near this flag. It will become the center of your city.
Sunte. Kalos. Stoma.
Your capital is finished, and your advisors have surveyed the surrounding land. The limits of the city of Carthage are now marked out with flags. All the buildings that you are required to build for Carthage must be constructed within these boundaries.
Kalos.
Additional buildings that you decide to construct can be built anywhere.
Stoma.
To feed your people, begin by building a granary within the boundaries. Then ensure that at least one farm gets planted.
Stoma. Kalos. Sunte.
Carlos.
Kalos. Stoma.
Carthage is off to a good start, but no city is complete without a temple to honor the gods. Build a temple within the city limits. Although your capital and granary required only wood, other buildings, such as temples, require stone as well. Some stone has been provided for you.
Talas. Stoma. Pote.
Excellent. You have done proper homage to the gods. Eventually, you will use temples to train priests and prophets. Temples also protect against calamities. But for now, do not forget your primary mission, to provide a safe haven for Phoenician
Talas.
vessels.
Carlos.
This will require docks. Build at least one dock on the shore near your capital.
Stoma.
To secure the future of your fledgling city, you must gain control of vital resources. Gold and stone mines can be found inland, outside your city limits. Colonize both of these areas by constructing one settlement near the stone mines and one near the gold mines.
Talas. Carlos.
Sunte. Kalos. Stoma. Kalos.
Pote.
Stoma.
Stoma.
Currently, you have good relations with the indigenous peoples of this land, but that could change. To protect your access to the mines, upgrade both settlements into stronger town centers. Settlements are upgraded by populating them with citizens. Select a group of citizens. The round button with the steps and columns is the Populate button. Click the button and the mouse pointer changes to a hand. Now click on the settlement to populate it. The group of citizens will walk to the settlement and go inside. Note that clicking the Cancel Action button would have canceled the Populate action, turning the hand back into the normal mouse pointer. Several citizens are needed to run a town center, so if the settlement didn't upgrade, populate it with more citizens until it does. Once inside the building, citizens take up permanent jobs and cannot leave. They are also removed from your population count. If the citizens were carrying resources, those resources were deposited in your inventories. Make sure to upgrade your other settlement into a town center in the same way. Your colony is succeeding admirably. Your fellow Phoenicians now have a safe harbor on their way to Spain and Sicily. New colonists from Tyre have arrived in Carthage. You can put them to work gathering or finish populating your buildings.
Pote. Talas. Kalos. Pote. Stoma.
Talas. Stoma. Zunte. Kalos.
A bonus of populating your settlements is that citizens dropping off resources at a populated building get an economic bonus based on how many citizens are working inside. Now it is time to start gathering gold and stone for your growing city. Stockpile at least 100 units of each. If you wish, set rally points for your 2 new town centers and queue up citizens at them.
Kalos.
Pote.
Stoma. Talas. Kalos.
Capitals provide the largest economic bonus since they require more citizens. They are also stronger buildings than town centers. Keep creating citizens and send them to populate your 2 new town centers. Once they are populated with enough citizens, they will automatically upgrade into capitals. You can view the current number of citizens inside by selecting the building. The population level is shown in the information area.
Talas.
Pote.
Talas. Stoma. Kalos. Zunte. Talas.
Citizens can populate the town center or capital where they are created. Just place the rally point for the town center or capital on itself. Note that capitals can continue to be populated for larger economic rewards, up to a maximum level.
Zunte. Duarte. Talas. Imoiga esto. Talas.
Carlos.
You have done a masterful job. Under your astute leadership, the Phoenician colony of Carthage is growing to become a major power in North Africa. Soon, Carthage will break free of her mother city, Tyre, and emerge as an empire in its own right.
Roman Emperor Constantine knew the eastern half of his empire had become too big and too remote to be effectively governed from Rome. Another capital was needed, closer to the Asian provinces. He decided to build his new city on the Bosphorus Straits, near the existing town of Byzantium, and he would call his glorious new city Constantinople. One should never assume that all will remain peaceful. To protect Constantinople, you will train an army and be shown the basics of combat. You will also construct walls and towers.
Welcome to the future site of glorious Constantinople, sire. Preparations are proceeding well, but Isaurian warriors camped in the mountains have been giving us some trouble. We need troops to defend against them. Select the barracks and use the phalanx button to train 6 phalanx foot soldiers. We currently have just enough resources to accomplish this. Remember that you can queue up units. We know the Asarians attack in waves, sending their units armed with shock weapons first. Shock weapons like swords are best counterattacked with piercing weapons like spears, such as those carried by our phalanx units. Our small army is ready just in time. Isarian raiders have been sighted riding towards the city. But look, the chariot archers of your Imperial Guard are trying to attack the Asarians. Alas, your Imperial Guard has been wiped out. They were courageous but foolhardy, my lord. As you see, archers are not effective against soldiers armed with shock weapons. Fortunately, the Asarians have retreated for now, but they will return. When they do, use your spear-wielding phalanxes to wipe them out.
Your orders? Your orders?
On the throne!
For honor and glory.
For the throne!
For honor and glory.
For the throne!
We're under attack.
Excellent! Your phalanxes have eliminated the raiders. As you
honor
see,
and glory.
warriors with shock weapons are best countered by soldiers armed with piercing weapons.
For the throne!
Soon the Asarians will send a second wave of warriors. These are sure to be archers. We saw earlier that our archers were beaten by their shock weapons, so train 6 short sword units at the barracks to face their archers. Resources for them are now available.
Where should I go? For honor and glory. For the throne!
For honor and glory.
While the remaining short swordmen are being trained, sire, let me remind you that you can set a rally point for the barracks. Either use the round Set Rally Point button to place a rally flag, or simply right-click on the map while the barracks is selected. The troops trained at the barracks will congregate at the rally point.
Ready, my lord.
Isarian bowmen have been sighted, Your Highness. It looks like your remaining phalanxes are taking them on. The phalanxes fought courageously, but in vain. Units with piercing weapons are not very effective against archers. Send your short swords against the Asarian bowmen, and you will see that they are much better suited for the job.
Attack with sharpened steel.
We're under attack.
The Asarian bowmen have been defeated. Soldiers armed with swords or other shock weapons are the most effective troops to send against archers.
Sharpened steel.
The third Asarian attack wave will consist of javelin throwers, who are best countered with archers. You can train new chariot archers at this archery range. Select the archery range and click on the chariot archer button. Train a total of 6 chariot archers. You have been given enough resources to accomplish this. This may be a good time to experiment with advanced orders, such as behaviors and formations. Select a group of units and notice the 2 octagonal buttons that appear above the basic action buttons.
With all my heart.
The first button, on the left, sets the unit behavior of the selected troops. Click on this button. New buttons appear to allow you to select a different behavior. A behavior essentially defines the rules of engagement for these troops. Try selecting a new behavior. Note that you'll see a difference in your troops' behavior only when they engage enemy units. The button next to Set Unit Behavior is the Set Formation button. Clicking it provides you with a set of formation options. Formations are standing orders that tell your troops how to line up at the end of a move order. Try selecting a formation. Now, with your units still selected, right-click on the ground where you want them to move. When they get to their destination, they will line up in the formation you selected.
Attack with sharpened steel.
Try moving those same units again, but this time hold the right mouse button down when you right-click. With the button held down, moving the mouse displays an arrow. The arrow indicates the direction your units will face when they line up in formation. Choose a direction, release the mouse button, and watch the results. The final wave of Asarian javelin throwers have been sighted. The short swordmen are moving to engage them. You'd think they'd know better by now.
Outstanding. Okay, my lord. Outstanding. Okay, my lord. Outstanding. Okay, my lord. Outstanding. Okay, my lord.
The short swordmen were completely wiped out. Swords and other shock weapons are not very effective against piercing weapons. But now you can use your new chariot archers to annihilate the enemy javelin throwers.
Okay, my lord. We're under attack. Outstanding.
The Asarian javelins have been defeated by your chariot archers. As you see, archers can be very effective when used properly. Always remember, sire, arrows beat piercing weapons beat shock weapons, and shock weapons beat arrows. With our borders safe for now, it is time to transform Byzantium into Constantinople. The first order of business is to construct defensive walls. Walls require stone, which has been provided for you. To build walls, select one or more citizens and left-click on the wall button. Then, left-click on the map to indicate the starting point for the wall. When you move the mouse across the terrain, a ghost version of the wall appears. Left-click again on the location where you want this section of your wall to end. You can now left-click a third time to place another section of wall attached to the first. Right-click at any time to stop placing walls. If this seems complicated, sire, don't worry. You'll soon get the hang of it.
As you wish.
Certainly.
As you wish. Certainly. As you wish. Certainly. As you wish. Certainly.
Even though wall construction has started, you can make the work go faster by assigning more citizens to the task. Just select more citizens, then right-click on a wall foundation. If you attempt to lay down a wall but have run out of stone, wall foundations will not appear. You will have to try again when you have sufficient stone. Also note that individual units of wall cannot be built on top of existing objects, like trees and buildings or on water. But the rest of the wall will be built around these obstacles. You can go back to fill in gaps later. Your new wall is coming along superbly, Highness. Just 25 more wall sections will bring us very close to completion. Don't worry about closing yourself in with walls, sire. When you're ready, I'll show you how to build gates.
As you wish.
Excellent. Your new wall is nearly complete. You should look around and fill in any gaps that may still remain.
Certainly.
Now it's time to put in a gate. Left-click on any straight section of wall. You'll see a gate button at the lower left corner of your screen. Click on this button and straight sections of wall where gates can be placed will be highlighted green. Move the mouse pointer over the green walls and a ghost gate will appear. To build a gate where the ghost is, simply left-click and it will be placed there immediately. Well done. Notice that you do not need citizens to build gates, and gates do not cost any additional stone. As long as you have a straight section of wall that is 5 sections long, you can make a gate. Gates only open for you and your ally, sire. But if you lock a gate by clicking its lock button, no one can pass through. In addition to walls and gates, you can defend your city with towers. Select one or more citizens. You'll see that the tower button is now available. Click the button, then left-click on the site where you want the tower to be built. Like walls, towers cost stone. Build at least 2 towers to demonstrate to the people that Constantinople will be secure against her enemies.
Yes. As you wish. Yes, my lord. Certainly. As you wish.
Yes.
Certainly. Building defensive walls and towers is a good step forward, my lord. But what if you need to destroy the walls and towers of your enemies?
Yes, my lord.
The most effective way to do this is with siege engines, which can be produced only at a siege factory. There is one already built in the city for your use. Alarming news has arrived, Your Highness. The city of Nicomedia is in revolt. They fear the rising power of Constantinople. A demonstration of your authority is needed. Produce 2 catapults and 2 stone throwers at your siege factory. Just up the river, a transport is waiting for them. When the siege engines are finished, load them on the transport by selecting them and right-clicking on the transport.
Ahoy!
Yes? As you wish. Yes, my lord. Certainly. Yes? As you wish.
All hands on deck. Aye, Captain. Ahoy! Aye, aye, Captain. All hands on deck.
With the siege equipment loaded aboard, the transport can be sailed across the river and unloaded.
Hoist the
Flags have been
sails.
set to show a safe place to unload. Select the loaded transport and click the unload button. Then right-click on the shore next to the flags. The transport will sail to that location and unload the siege equipment. Good. Now if you destroy the gates of Nicomedia, it will be enough to show them who is boss. Select your siege engines and right-click on their gate to start the attack. Note that stone throwers do splash damage and are therefore good against a mass group of people. Catapults, on the other hand, do more damage at impact and so are more effective against structures like walls, buildings, and gates. Both can be used in your attack on Nicomedia. Your show of force has been successful, Emperor. The rebels of Nicomedia have surrendered. And with the new government firmly established at Constantinople, this region has been secured for the future. Long live the Empire!
By the 5th century, Constantine was long dead, and the Roman Empire had been split into two parts. The eastern half became known as the Byzantine Empire. The first emperor of Byzantium, Arcadius I, was weak and easily manipulated. In fact, it was his wife, the Empress Eudocia, who truly held the power. Self-indulgent and tyrannical, Eudocia threatened the survival of the new empire. A strong religious leader was needed to confront Arcadius and Eudocia. Only such a leader, a prophet, could demonstrate to them what true power was.
Potential converts are sure to be found at the forums. Come, we must get started. To convert someone, select a priest. Then click the round convert button and right-click on the person you want to convert. Alternately, you can simply right-click on the person without clicking the button first. Remember that some people take a little longer to convert than others. After the conversion, the priest's power must be replenished. This happens automatically over time. The blue bar over the selected priest's head shows his current level of power. You are entering the wealthy district of Constantinople. The city's universities are located there. Citizens who are too close to a university cannot be converted due to the institution's influence.
Hallelujah! By the gods! Hallelujah! Yes, my liege. By the gods! How may I help you? Hallelujah! Yes, my liege. By the gods!
Yes, my lord.
How may I help Hallelujah! You? Yes, my liege. By the gods! How may I help you? Hallelujah! Yes, my liege. By the gods!
Yes.
Yes, may I help you? Hallelujah! Yes, my liege. By the gods! How may I help you? Hallelujah! Yes, my liege. By the gods!
Yes, my lord.
As you wish.
We have enough followers. Let us bring them to a safe area outside the city, where gold and other resources are abundant.
As you wish.
The area has been marked with blue flags.
How may I help you? By the gods! Yes, my liege. Hallelujah! How may I help you? By the gods! Yes, my liege. Hallelujah! How may I help you? By the gods! Yes, my liege.
followers have arrived at the designated site in the mountains. It is time to build a temple here so we can train a prophet.
Hallelujah!
Yes?
Certainly.
How may I help you?
Ah, at last. We have a temple that the Emperor and the Empress do not control. The time has come to train our prophet. Select the temple and click the prophet button. Notice that other buttons inside the temple can be used to research new religious advances. Eventually, in later epics, we will be able to research skills that will allow us to convert enemy priests and enemy buildings. But for now, all we need is a prophet.
Yes, my lord.
As you wish.
How
Yes,
may I help
my
you?
liege.
By the gods!
At last, a prophet walks among us. Left-click on him and notice that he has the power to cast terrible calamities on our enemies. As you see, the prophet can summon firestorms, earthquakes, volcanoes, and malaria. There are other calamities as well, but these four will serve our needs for now.
I foresee victory. The end is coming. I foresee victory. The end is coming.
Let us take our mighty prophet into the city.
I foresee
He will destroy the
victory.
Senate building with a series of terrible calamities. That is sure to bring the Emperor and his wife to their senses.
The end
But care
is
should be
coming.
taken when creating a calamity, because it can affect our own people as well as our enemies. When you review the calamities available, notice that each costs a certain amount of power. Our prophet will need to have sufficient power charged up in order to summon the calamity in question.
I
For this
foresee
demonstration, however,
victory.
power recharges faster than it would normally. When you get to the Senate building, I suggest casting a firestorm first. You'll see how it quickly spreads to all the surrounding buildings. Then try invoking an earthquake. They inflict more damage, but the effects
end
are
is
more
coming.
localized.
I foresee victory.
How may I help you?
Yes,
Yes?
my lord. Yes, the end is coming.
Your prophet has arrived at the Senate. To cast a calamity, select the prophet and then click a calamity button. Finally, click on your target. Remember to try a firestorm and then an earthquake. After that, you might try a volcano. Malaria is effective against people. To see how much damage is being done to the Senate, hover the mouse pointer over it to watch its hit point bar. One thing to note is that calamities cannot be summoned in the vicinity of a temple.
Yes.
Well done. The Senate of the Byzantine Empire has been destroyed. Shocked and alarmed by the power of Constantinople's religious leaders, the Emperor Arcadius and the Empress Eudocia have yielded to the clergy's demands. New reforms are to be enacted to provide justice for all the citizens of the empire.